Hello guys, and welcome once again to Salwyngaming, and once again we're taking a look at Lee Sin, which is, as you may or may not have figured out, one of my favorite champions in the game. So therefore I play him a lot, and especially when I jungle, which is going to be my position on our very noobish Salwyngaming team that we're just mostly doing for fun. But we're gonna be assigning our special positions, and I'm going to be doing the jungle. So that is why I am doing the Lee Sin game right now. If you like this game and you want to see more of them, I do have a very similar game that I played right after this one, which is also Lee Sin. Is very similar, as I said. So if you want to see that one, just tell me in the comments and I'll do that one as well. But for now I'm just going to do this one, because uploading two of the same game, if you don't want them, is kind of pointless. But if you want to see the other one, as I said, just let me know in the comments. Anyway, I am playing with my good buddy Endorn, who is on the gaming team, and then two of my other buddies, Maddie and Spismoose, or Ice, or whatever he calls himself. Recently acquired buddies. I'm playing on my Smurf, which is now level 25, same as it was when I was doing this game. So my runes and masteries are suboptimal. Anyway, I'm going to take that camera off and then just focus on me. I'm sorry, I'm still sick, so if I sniffle or cough, I do apologize. There's nothing really I can do about it. Well, maybe go see a doctor, but I haven't. So I may sniffle or cough, and I'm sorry. I hope you can deal with that. Anyway, you start Wraith. You start with E skill first, and you kindly ask your mid laner to give you a good assist on the Wraith and a good pull on the red buff. That always helps. And the more health you have after red buff, the stronger your ganks are, because you do more with them. Of course, on Lee Sin you start with boots. 3 pots if you do have a good pull. If you're not sure you're gonna get a pull, or if you know you're not gonna get a pull, you start with cloth armor. Anyway, we see Katarina moving over here very close to me, so I just move in. Never Q first. Always move in so you get the guaranteed Q hit. Because if you move up, do the E, and then follow up with the Q afterwards, there's, well, a 60-something probably % chance, higher chance that you're gonna hit the Q, because the target is gonna be moving slower. Anyway, Katarina there running a very weird but offensive mid lane setup with Ignite Exhaust, which is one of the reasons why I ganked her early. Another one of the reasons is because I don't have the communication with the top lane, and that is Shaco as well, so he can Q away, and he has flash. So I chose to gank mid lane because that was the strongest gank I could get off. And that is what you want to do with Lee Sin. With Lee Sin you want to put as much pressure on the lane's early game as absolutely possible. That is one of his strong suits. He's very much like Shaco or Nautilus, in that sense that his early game is his biggest factor in the entire game. And you want to really take advantage of this. You don't want to farm your jungle until level 6 as Lee Sin, because then you're not gonna contribute to the team as much as you might want to as a jungler. There are other junglers like Nocturne, who does really well after 6 with the ganks. Same with the Warwick, who is a really strong after 6 ganker. But Lee Sin, like some others, are a very strong pre-6 ganker. Now they're missing my Q. I just tried. He was in stealth though. He did Q out there, so I just tried to see if I couldn't hit him, and I missed it. But I took the chance anyway. I mean, there's no point if you're gonna run up there. You might as well just try to throw Q out. And again, here you see, I come up. I hit the EE with the double E to get the slow, but sadly he jukes my Q. And I missed that, and then he laughs as I run off. This dude knows what he's doing. Now, let me tell you, I'm not playing against level 25 people here. The mid lane is a Katarina with 1200 wins. I mean, she knows what she's doing. She's not a new person in the game. I have played a pretty sizable amount of games recently, and most of them I haven't been uploading because they're not worth watching. It's just pop stomping noobs at lower levels, which is not what I want to do. I'd rather upload a video where I play against people who got some knowledge of what they're doing. Anyway, as you see here, with the gank, I W to a minion, I shield to a minion, then I Q onto Katarina, and then I E. This is of course the updated Katarina, and there. One of the things you want to do when you're moving into a bush, you want to press A and then move into the bush, because that way, if you're getting juked, if she runs the other way out of the bush, you're still gonna hit her. That means you're guaranteed to get the hit. As if you're gonna right click yourself into that bush, you run the chance of her juking back, and then you're gonna run past her and not get the kill. You're simply gonna be put behind, get a disadvantage. So attack moving when chasing people into bushes is a really, really good idea. Anyway, our bottom lane there getting a double kill. So our team is in really, really good position at this point. So I just want to go back in my jungle, clear out as much as possible until the next possible gank shows up. As we can see on the lanes here, the top lane, our guy is dead. That means I cannot gank that. I can go up there for the experience, but I cannot gank it. The mid lane is pretty much centered. Katarina's getting pushed a bit. I cannot gank that. This is the thing you need to do as a jungler. This is the most important thing for junglers to know, is how to see which lanes to ganks. And as you can see, the bot lane is pushed. You cannot gank that. Now Dorn here has some problems with wards still. So he is very, very vulnerable to ganks like this. And Alistar and Katarina taking much advantage of this fact. Anyway, he does get away right there. I come in here. I don't want to go against them like this, because I know they will most likely win that trade with the CC of Alistar and the damage of Katarina, since Endorn is so low on mana. But Endorn informs me, and you may or may not have this kind of communication with other players as well, but he informs me he's almost 6. So that means that if he hits 6 before Katarina, which he didn't, but if he did, we would have a really strong gank here. Anyway, I still wait around, and there Katarina dies in for the kill. And again, you can see me running up to E first. Always do this, even if they have flash, you do this. Because if you Q, they can juke it if you're at a high range, because it's not that fast moving. And if they have flash, even more so, if you Q, they can flash the Q, and they're guaranteed to get away. But if you run up to them, if they are running here, let's say they're running down here as Katarina was doing, and I came in here. If I Q from here and try to predict where she's going, she can either juke me, or if she has flash, she can flash past it, and that way I cannot get to her at all. So always save your Q. A big mistake that a lot of Lee Sin gankers make, and Nautilus gankers as well, is as soon as they get near the lane, they instantly use their skill shot, and that way reducing the chance they have of getting a kill, because they make it harder for themselves than it needs to be. So that is one of the things you want to remember as Lee Sin. Now you see me here coming up behind Shaker. I'm just waiting for him to pop out of stealth, and obviously I realized that quite quickly that is a decoy. I mean, there's a 50-50 chance I'm gonna hit the right one. In fact, I didn't, so I just quickly queued to the right one and followed up to give it some damage. Sadly here Jax is a bit low, so I'm gonna just move around, because I know Shaker wants to go on him. I mean, people can't resist low health targets. It's one of the great flaws. Now he backs off there. I assumed he had a ward. We can see now that he didn't, because of this awesome new replay feature where we can see both teams. But I assumed he would have a ward, because he moved back the same time I came into this area, where a ward in this bush, for example, or down here would spot me. So I assumed he had a ward, therefore I backed out again. Therefore I threw the Q just instantaneously, because, well, it was a misplay on my part, but most often than not, it would be the right call to make. Just try to hit the Q and then back out, because he knows you're there. Anyway, here, Orianna getting the blue trade off here. Let's see if he actually gets it. Maybe I get it. I don't remember. I think in one of the games I got it. Maybe it wasn't one of these ones though. Anyway, he gets the blue, goes back to mid lane farm. Now, here we see Katarina. She's going into my jungle. And this is very good. If you play a mid laner and you know where the enemy jungle is. Now, Katarina didn't know. But let's just like play pretend she knew where I was. That is a very good play. Anytime you know where the enemy jungler is, You want to steal the Wraith as a mid laner. Now you see me going in here, going past her and then kicking her away just to be as safe as possible in getting the kill. So that even if I didn't have enough damage on my kick to get the kill on her, we would still get the kill because she would get away from the turret rather than kicking her, for example, past the turret. As you would do sometimes when you try to get the killing blow, you just kick into the turret. But it's much safer to just tank 1 or 2 hits from the turret and make sure, 100% sure, you get the kill. That is the most important thing. Now we start to move up top here. Again, you see Shaco here. Notice the way he's moving. I mean, as soon as we start moving up towards him. Now he didn't see us, but let's play pretend again. As soon as we start moving up towards top lane, he disappears from vision. Now he comes back. Now look at the way I'm acting here. I come running up towards him. I see him up near the minions. He backs off. That means I know there's a ward somewhere here or a Jack in the Box. So I just go up and clear it and back out again. Oh snap! Our bot lane just got rocked. Anyway, when you're a jungler or anyone who ganks, for example a mid laner who ganks a lot, you want to try to read the opponent's plays. If you run towards their lane and all of a sudden they start running away, you want to react to that. You want to react to that and say, okay, they have a ward. You want to try to figure out where they have that ward, because in case your jungler has an early oracles, for example, he can then clear the ward for you if you tell him where it is. Or if you're the jungler himself, you can clear the ward with the oracle. So that is very important. Now, as for Lee Sin item builds, Wriggle's Lantern is a solid item on Lee Sin. Always in the jungle, Wriggle's Lantern is solid. Sometimes in the top lane too, depending on who you're against. But always Wriggle's Lantern, and then depending on the later game, you want to go into something different. Anyway, I'm going for a gank down here bot lane. As you can see, they back off as I come down towards here. So I can safely assume there's a ward right here, or there's a ward up here. And this is again, you want to read your opponent's plays. And this is one of the reasons why, at least in my opinion, jungle is the hardest, and I say this quote unquote lane in the game, because you need to know when to gank, how to enter the gank if you want to go in through here, from back here, from here or here, and you need to be able to read signs of where there are wards, for example. Now, no one is going to be perfect at this, because sometimes, as we saw with Shaco top, sometimes people are going to make maneuvers at random times that make it seem like there's a ward. But, I mean, a lot of the times you're going to get it right, and that means that you know, okay, this way I can't gank, but I can come in another way. So you need to keep that in mind whenever you're ganking people and whenever you're playing jungle, is remember those things. From where do I gank, when do I gank, and how do they react to me coming closer. As we see here, I come in on Katarina again. I move behind her, exhaust to make sure I get behind, and then kick her out with my Q on her, so I can just jump straight back to him and get the damage. And then we kill mid lane. Bot lane is not there. That means we get a free dragon. They cannot contest this. If they contest this, it means it's Ashe, what is it? Ashe, Alistar, and Sona against 4 of us. So at times like this, you want to take advantage, and that is one of the things. Some junglers just straight up do dragon early game because people don't expect it, so you can do it more or less safely, as we sometimes see in tournament play, for example. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna come back to that in a second, because we see here, I see Alistar. He's been spotted by this ward, and Jax knows this. I let Jax know that I'm coming up top. I don't know if we can actually see this here. No, we can't see the team chat, but I let Jax know, come in top, I ping. And then, when I get there, Jax is ready. Jax was standing here, he saw me come up, and we just teamed up on Alistar instantaneously. Alistar took my red, I got it back. That means that his invade and all the time he spent here is wasted. Plus, we got a kill out of it. So, warding is super important, and that is one of the things, like, especially with the people I play with, I try to make them understand how important warding is. not only for the mid laner, but also for people like the jungler, for example. Warding for a jungler is really important. As you can see, I have a ward down here. That is my ward. And that ward tells us if Katarina is coming down here to gank, or if Ashe shoots an arrow or comes up to gank, or if Alistar, and so on and so forth. The more information you have in a game, the better you're off. Actually, I think this is my ward. Maybe this is mine too. Maybe I bought a ward, I don't remember. But anyway, yeah. Warding is super important. As you can see again, I buy a ward. I buy a ward. I already have Wriggle's Lantern. I buy a ward still.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
And we lose a turret mid because Katarina was stronger than me in that trade, as we saw before. Or maybe we didn't, but that's what happened. I got my ass kicked a little bit by Katarina, so I backed off. And as we can see here, the ward here lets my bottom team know Katarina is coming. So they know to back off. Katarina sees that they back off, so she knows there's a ward. So she's not going to try to gank there again soon. Holy ballsack, what am I doing? I think that's about right. Alright, anyway, and again, this allows my team to group up on Katarina because they know where she is. They saw her here. Now remember, they saw her here. Oh, I'm going to gank bot lane now. I tell my guy to come closer to the wall so I can shield over to him. Then I miss the slow, obviously. Oh, and that kick. I wonder if I can rewind. I'm gonna try to rewind. Can I pause and fraps at the same time? Does this work? Hopefully this works. Because I thought this was sexy. If this works, I'm gonna love it. Let's see. Alright. What the fudge is going on here? Alright, maybe it's bugged out a little bit. Alright, okay. I'm gonna pause it here. Alright, so sometimes when you gank, especially when the bottom turret is getting pushed, you can catch your enemies by surprise by, as a Lee Sin, either warding over the wall and then shielding to it, or shielding to your teammates, then jumping onto the enemy. And we'll see this here. Let's actually try, because previously in the versions of the replay system you were not able to do this, but it seems like you can now. So we're gonna see this in a little bit slower. I tell this guy, I'm on Skype with this guy, so I know. I tell him, come closer so I can shield to you. Ashe moves up to hit him. Sadly, I slightly miss my E there, which is not fortunate. I get hit by the arrow. I move down behind her, kick her, Q, and then follow it up. That is how you want to do that. And it makes it sexy, it makes it more fun to do as well. And then we see Maddie here coming down through the jungle because he killed Katarina up here just moments ago. And that way we're able to pick up a double kill. And well, theoretically snowball our lane. Snowballing your lane is is pretty much the job of the jungler. Snowballing or saving a lane. But one of the things you gotta remember is it is easier to snowball a lane that is even than it is to even out a lane that's behind. Because when your lane is behind, it means that in the fight, the opposing team will have an advantage. So unless they get out of position, it can be a dangerous fight. So you want to play it smart and never gank a lane that's behind by like 5 kills. If you have a lane down bottom where your AD carry is 0-3, for example, and your support is 0-2, and the other team's AD carry is 5-0, for example, you don't want to gank that lane. Unless they're at your turret, you never gank that lane ever, because chances are you're gonna die in that exchange. Anyway, again here you see Shaco gets killed top, but I know he has like Jack in a box here because he had that before, so I just go up and check it, and yeah, well, you know, he did. So I get 10 gold. Yay me. Sorry. Anyway, like this is one of the reasons why I think that jungle is the hardest lane in the game. Simply because you have to think about everything. You have to think about every single lane in the game. You have to think about how they're doing, where they're warding, if they're warding, how they're reacting, when to gank, how to gank, from where to gank, and all this bullshit. And at the same time, you gotta clear out your jungle so that they can't steal your jungle. So yeah, but when you do it right, you end up 602. Your mid lane is 624. Your top lane is 211. Though not through too much help from me, and the bot lane is 632. So if you play your cards right as a jungler, it means that the odds of your team winning the game are doubled or tripled often. And that is why jungle is one of the lanes that I think is easiest to carry ranked games with. When you're trying to gain ELO, being a good jungler is one of the best ways of doing it, in my opinion. I may be wrong, maybe you carry every game with top lane, but as I see it, jungle is one of the best ways to carry ranked games. Mid being number 2 because they have so much middle game strength, because most AP champions really top out around the middle game. But anyway, jungler is the thing that I like to carry with the most. Anyway, I try a max range Q. I think it stopped right near his left ear. Doesn't seem like he heard it though. But anyway, I'm waiting for Jax here. Jax is pushing the wave. You can see this, and that is why I'm staying here. Now I want to get in behind Shaco before he runs away. Get the slow on him. He flashes over the turret, but we're both really tanky, and I just ult him to get the kill. And here I get hit by the Ashe arrow, and now I'm tanking turret. So we decide just to back out because he has ultimate up. There's no reason to try to take too much of an advantage when it's not needed. And here we go, they surrender, their shit blows up, and it's all a good game and good have fun and all that good stuff. So, as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you found out something new about how to jungle. If you like to jungle, if you like Lee Sin, I hope you found out some new ways to play him to make him more efficient. If you did, please like the video, because it makes me happy, and it shows me that you could use it for something. And as I said, I have another game that's quite similar to this, so if you want to see more of this, just tell me in the comments and I'll do that game as well. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, and until next time, have a good day.